the summer of 2007, the McCann family parents, Kate and Gerry, along with their children, Madeleine, 3 years old, and her siblings decided to enjoy a peaceful vacation at the coastal Barcelos resort in Portugal. The resort was filled with families from all over Europe. The days were sunny, the beaches pristine, and laughter filled the air. The family hoped that this vacation would be a chance to escape the pressures of daily life. Little did they know, none of them could have imagined that this place would soon become a scene of sorrow and mystery in the days ahead. It was nearing 10 p.m. when Kate and Gerry McCann decided to go out for dinner with friends at a restaurant close to the resort. They left their children in the neighboring apartment under the care of a sitter, but checked on them every half hour. Everything was calm at first. When they returned to the apartment, the biggest shock awaited them. Madeleine, the little girl whose laughter once filled the room, was gone from her bed. The windows were slightly open, and the door was locked. Chaos began to spread, but there was no sign of who might have taken her. Panic flooded Kate and Gerry's hearts when they discovered Madeleine was missing. Gerry started shouting around the resort, and Kate ran through the hallways, calling out for their daughter. The apartment felt abandoned, with dim light seeping through the closed windows. The local police arrived after being notified of the incident. In those moments, a flicker of hope revived in the parents' hearts, but with every passing minute, despair grew darker. The mysteries seemed to be everywhere. After hours of random searching within the resort and its surroundings, the Portuguese police arrived to begin formal investigations. A security perimeter was set up around the area, and investigators began collecting possible evidence. Every corner and every room of the resort was searched. The questions started to rise. Was it a kidnapping or an accidental incident? As investigators delved deeper into the case, the most significant question arose: who was responsible? The world was watching, but no one knew that this case would remain unresolved for decades. As investigations continued, the police leaned towards the theory of kidnapping. The windows were open, and the room was completely empty, as if the child had been taken in the middle of the night. But there was something odd about the story. No screams had been heard from the apartment. The police found no signs of violence. Doubt began to grow among the investigators. Was Madeleine forcibly taken, or did she leave on her own? With each new question, answers seemed to drift further away. Every theory led only to more mystery. As days passed, authorities ramped up their efforts to find Madeleine by offering a large reward for any information that would lead to solving the case. The McCann family hoped this reward would attract witnesses or clues that could reveal their daughter's fate. As newspapers and media outlets covered the case in great detail, the world began to follow the investigation. The case turned into an international issue, but the large reward did not lead to any breakthrough in the investigation. Alongside the efforts of the Portuguese police, British authorities decided to provide full support to the investigation. A team of investigators specialized in kidnapping and missing persons cases was sent to Portugal. Information began to pour in from all directions, and the communication between British and Portuguese authorities was well coordinated. But as time went on, no significant progress was made, making the case even more complicated. The police followed leads, but no clear resolution emerged, and the mystery continued to cloud Madeleine's fate. The police began reviewing all surveillance footage from the resort and its surrounding areas. No corner was overlooked in the investigation. Over time, a set of suspicious images was identified, but they did not provide any strong lead. The cameras surrounded the resort, but no evidence was found that could help. The darkness of the case began to envelop it, and everyone waited anxiously for any new development. In desperate attempts to encourage people to come forward with any information that could help locate Madeleine, Kate and Gerry appeared in numerous media interviews. They looked exhausted, but their eyes were filled with hope. In each interview, they emphasized that Madeleine was not just a missing child, she was their life. Their message was simple but powerful. If you saw something, tell us. Yet, each interview only added to the flood of sadness and anxiety. With no leads pointing to Madeleine, authorities decided to expand the search to areas beyond the resort, covering other parts of Portugal and even other European countries. Search teams were sent to various cities in Portugal, as well as to neighboring European nations. They focused on remote areas and places where the missing child could have been hidden, but their efforts proved unsuccessful. The situation grew more grim as time passed. The investigation continued, and witness testimonies were re-examined. There were conflicting accounts of the last place Madeleine was seen. Some mentioned a suspicious car, while others spoke of a strange person in the area. But no eyewitness testimony could conclusively link these accounts to the incident. Doubt continued to haunt investigators, who were grappling with multiple theories regarding the disappearance of the child. In the end, after months of searching and with little evidence, the Portuguese police decided to close the investigation. Nevertheless, the family continued to call for the case to be reopened. It seemed as though the investigation was being shut down with no significant progress. Shock and disbelief struck everyone, but hope did not yet fade. Despite the closure of the case, the McCann family continued their efforts to find Madeleine. They launched an international campaign to keep the case alive, with the support of humanitarian organizations and the media. The campaign focused on raising awareness about the disappearance, but it did not lead to any tangible results. Nevertheless, their efforts reminded the world of the importance of finding Madeleine. In 2017, a new theory emerged about Madeleine's disappearance, suggesting the involvement of an organized gang in her abduction. Some investigators speculated that she may have been kidnapped for the purpose of being sold, and an investigation into this theory began. However, nothing substantial came from this hypothesis. Over a decade after the incident, British police decided to reopen the investigation. Some minor developments occurred, but no major breakthroughs were made. Madeleine McCann remained in the hearts of many, and the hope of finding her still floated amid the waves of sorrow and intrigue. Source of the case: Madeleine McCann's disappearance, Portugal, May 2007, officially closed in 2020.